people trying to do their own child predator operation for TikTok views, and one guy got shot.
Let's talk about another dirty secret of the anti-trafficking movement. A lot of nonprofits host these undercover sting ops. They're not actually taking down bad guys. So what that looks like is chatters or people that are pretending to be minors in order to identify people trying to prey on children. That being said, if this is done correctly, it should yield measurable results, which we'll talk about more. I've seen a lot of nonprofits that were boldly claiming to combat child trafficking, which is very specific. They were really just doing these undercover sting ops to identify local pedos, which is not the same thing as trafficking anyway, but with these sting ops, a lot of them were really just clickbait. They're not really catching bad guys, much less arresting child traffickers, and children are suffering because of it. When these ops aren't done correctly, predators don't get prosecuted, much less convicted, and that means they walk free. I recently worked with an organization called Veterans for Child Rescue, but they don't rescue children, but they claim to have a 100% conviction rate, but they don't have a 100% conviction rate, and they don't actually combat child trafficking despite their claims. However, they do these undercover sting ops, and in many situations that I personally witnessed, we would do these ops and maybe a couple guys would show up and get arrested, but they would still not end up in jail, and or these warrants would never even get issued, not even signed off on, much less served and much less people arrested. So all of this was for fundraising, and this organization is still claiming those results as if they actually captured these actual perpetrators that they're claiming have been convicted, but when we look into the arrest records, we've seen some of them not even currently behind bars, much less were they ever convicted. So it's alarming to me that these organizations have raised millions of dollars over the last few years, and they're claiming to combat child trafficking, but they're really just raising funds, and God knows where those funds are really going, because these types of ops don't cost millions of dollars. No, there's also not a lot of expertise involved. Now, we've all seen these YouTube vigilantes set up these ops in order to arrest and identify predators and take them down. I've seen some of them actually do really good work. Like my friend here has done amazing work, and when law enforcement is not corrupt and is actually willing to do what's right, they do result in these arrests and convictions. So all that to say, it's not that if you're not law enforcement, you can't assist in these operations. It's that if you're claiming to do these operations successfully and they're not being done successfully, you're exploiting the problem, and that's a big part of the problem. So I'm going to explain how one of these botched sting operations resulted in a officer actually getting indicted on felony charges, how that went all wrong, and how the bad guy got let out. So let's make this one a whole series.